does the ownership work? Is this owned in these 3 lots owned in common somehow, or are they all owned separately?
Each lot is owned separately with a separate deed. The church community owns property. And then the individuals go to the bank and get a mortgage like anybody else. And they basically buy the improvements on the property. So they get those.
So it's more like a land lease.
Yeah, exactly. It is a land lease. So we give them a 99-year ground lease. The bank accepts that as considered ownership, and so they get a mortgage on the improvements of the property. As I said, we've actually done about 95 around the county.
You have not done an inspection of the existing dwelling? Is that why you don't know if you can save that house or not?
Oh, no, we've inspected it. Our intention is to gut it and rehabilitate it. That would be our first preference. To be quite honest, it's quite a, you can look at the floor plan of it, or the footprint of it. There's been several different additions added to it. It's an unusual footprint layout. One of the considerations was to tear it down. It was sort of a cost issue, whether it's more cost effective to tear it down and rebuild it. At this point, my preference is to try and rehabilitate it.
That's a one-story structure?
It's a one-story structure.
If I can just go back to the stormwater issue again, then if church housing maintains the ownership of the ground, you would be responsible for the stormwater downstream.
The owner of the improvements owns all the improvements in the ground, out of the ground. They have responsibility. It's in the ground, they have to maintain it and do whatever is required in terms of ongoing maintenance.
Heated maintenance is part of the improvements package. The ground, ground.
Correct.
And I believe it, I'm not positive, but it would be similar to the water and sewer connections.
Right.
Say, they're responsible for that.
So if they had a septic system, they'd be responsible for that as well.
But along the lines of the infiltrator units, can you just give us a layman's point of view as why you use these infiltrator units versus a cistern? Are they different? Are they the same? Is a cistern overkill?
I've had discussions with Mike Gray on this in the past. If you do like a rain barrel or a cistern or some type of collection system, you have to, he likes to see that, assume that at some point that's going to fill up. If it's not used for a period of time, you get rain for a week or something like that, that thing may be full. While with an infiltration system, it percolates and it infiltrates into the ground, so on a daily, regular basis, it's emptying itself, so to speak. While with a cistern, the water's going into, let's say it's a barrel or a tank or something, until you pump it out of there and use it, it's staying there. So if you get a lot of rain for a couple of days, it fills up. What happens on the third day when it rains again? So he's always told me that any calculations that you do, you need to assume that if you do use a cistern or something like that, that there's no infiltration from it, and it really can't be used for the calculations. And that, I guess, is not to say that maybe something could be used as a bypass, let's say. I'm not sure of the cost and the complexity of something like that. But that's something we could probably look into for other projects also.
I think if I could just potentially add to what I'm saying is that I think we'd love to take into account cisterns that contribute to the irrigation water as part of our looking at some of these projects. And we're starting to see some use of cisterns, and we'd love to see more. Realize that it's probably a more complex and more solution, but it would be certainly a direction that we'd love to see.
Yeah, I've had clients in the past and some of the other projects that can we use this. Yeah, you can put it in. I can't use it for my calculations, to meet your requirements the way they're written today and so forth. I think some clients may be doing that in conjunction with this, which is probably not a bad idea, in my opinion. I think we can definitely look into that a little bit more.
there happens to be an expert on cisterns who lived here in Jamestown, Richard Dyer, and he had a very simple, so simple it was elegant, system of a cistern taking the water from roof leaders and whatever other source, and then spilling into an infiltration system if it was left unused.
Okay.
And and he could, I'm sure he could spend some time with our team and design something that would be very low cost and effective for saving water for irrigation, if you wanted to, and still have the infiltration system.
Steve, can you just address these lots that we're creating are smaller than what is normally allowed? And looking at the plans, it looks like we're putting 3-bedroom cottages on the 2 new lots.
Right.
And so just talking in general about, we've done a lot of these projects. What's the impact on the ultimate owner, after they get past the ownership funds, or the new ownership funds, and now they're in a small house that has 3 bedrooms, so you've got limited storage space. In fact, you're in a smaller living space, and it does that work, and you're on a smaller unit. So how does that affect quality of life? Does it not affect quality of life?
Well, it's bigger than my house, but I don't think it's that small a house. It'll have a full basement, so there'll be storage in the basement. It actually works out in 2 stories. It's 1,800 square feet, so it's not that small of a house. With 1,800 square foot. It's laid out. I think efficiently, what we're trying to do is build a fairly efficient square rectangle with the cost factors. And we're going to need assistance from the town's trust fund in order to make this work. So we're trying to do it as economically as we can. But I don't think it's much different. It's probably larger than some of the other houses on the street. And as I said, we were trying to split it up 50 by 100, so we matched the original layout of that particular neighborhood. Because of the existing house and saving it, it would require, in order to get the setback, to reduce the size of the other 2 so that they were slightly less than 50 individual land. So most subdivisions in that period were laid out 50 by 100. It's not that unusual, so I don't think it's going to be any necessary. I think it's pretty common throughout that, as well as many other neighborhoods.
Well, I just wanted to add, so that people can visualize, my office is on a 40 by 100 lot, 4,000 square feet. It has 2 townhouses and the office on the first floor. As far as quality of life, that building has been occupied since the day it was built. It was built by Mike Smith. And there's never been a single day of vacancy in any of the 2 townhouses. People have lived there, used them comfortably. There happens to be quite a bit of living space, a bedroom in each of the townhouses. But I'd say it's high quality life in the village of Jamestown and affordable.
Those are 3-bedroom townhouses?
No, they're 1-bedroom townhouses, but there's 2 townhouses. One on the front of the building and one on the rear of the building, and there's an office on the first floor. So, and that's on a 4,000 square foot lot with parking for 9 vehicles.
Steve, if somebody asked the question, did you look at a duplex arrangement to solve or to create the 3 units as opposed to 3 single family? What's the pros and cons on that?
Primarily the cost in terms of the purchase price that was sort of driving us to have to go to the 3. As you know, property in Jamestown is quite expensive, so it's hard to make 2 units with very perfect. We couldn't make it work for 2 units, which is under the affordable housing plan calls for larger lots to have an additional unit put on this particular case. And what we found generally across Jamestown is the cost is so prohibitive, it's hard to justify this purchase price for 2 units. In fact, it's